Welcome to Highview, and today, spawning in the southeast corner of the map in red, we've got Kasva playing as the Chinese, and his opponent in the northwest, Attack, playing in blue as the Delhi Sultanate. Welcome everyone to Highview, and this Age of Empires forecasted game. Well, we've got Kasva versus Recon. Now, I know it says Attack, but this is actually Recon. We'll call it Recon. This is like a gamer tag that we know and love. And of course, he was, both these players were featuring in the Red Bull Wallow Legacy tournament. In fact, they faced each other in that tournament. And we have some fond memories of that matchup. But in any case, we move on. Times have changed. Times have moved on. And things are moving on to a very exciting phase of Age of Empires 4. New DLC coming out very soon. I think generally people are very optimistic in the community about the new DLC. And it's going to be looking good. And today we've got the Chinese versus the Delhi Sultanate. Now, both civilizations... well, they're very different in many ways, but they also have some similarities. And I think generally the Chinese are the most flexible civilization that there probably is in Age of Empires 4, apart from maybe the Rus. The Rus are like just ridiculous at the moment, but Chinese are kind of built on that foundation of flexibility. I think they can be very aggressive in the feudal age with the Zhugennu spam and all the rest of it, but I guess the main benefits for them do lie on their economy bonuses, getting to Song Dynasty. Maybe 2 town centers potentially. The Delhi Sultanate, a little bit more telegraphed in terms of how they play and how they decide to kind of get wins under their belt. They do have very strong bonuses, but they have to leverage them. In particular, getting the sacred sites, they have to challenge in the feudal age in most cases. They do get upgrades for free, which is a nice bonus for them. But the tricky scenario about playing the Delhi Sultanate, the reason why they're so focused on the feudal age is because their bonuses in terms of, or their power spike in the castle age is very slow to get going. And the reason for that is because of the fact that all the researches are free, but they take time. And you have to have more scholars in your mosques to reduce that time. So when you do get to the castle age and you want to get those veterancy upgrades, it takes quite a bit of time. Granted, it's free, but it just takes time. And so that power spike doesn't come quite naturally as quickly as the other civilizations. On the other hand, though, the Chinese, their power spike can really escalate because they can actually supervise with their imperial official. Now, they can supervise research, they can supervise unit production. So whatever they want to do, they can speed it up very, very fast. And I think that's why the Delhi Sultanate really have to kind of prioritize feudal age aggression, feudal age numbers. And what might end up happening is Kasva might go for the eco approach and actually look to get a Song Dynasty 2-town center, and then go to the castle age. You will need to try and challenge, though, for the sacred sites. You won't want to just let them kind of, let the Delhi Sultanate get hold of the sacred sites. It would be very dangerous to do that. As we now look back at the bases and see what they are up to. Well, it's going to be the Imperial Academy here for Kasva. I suspect it's going to be that Song Dynasty build. It's going to be getting the Barbican and the Sun up soon, I suspect. This could be a good spot for the Barbican, but I would actually anticipate that he goes for a Barbican in the middle area of the sacred site here to protect it. Because on Highview, you have kind of a weird situation where you have a sacred site in either corner, which is kind of for both players, and then you have one in the middle, right? I wonder what happened to the music there. There we are. The music comes back. But yeah, Barbican here would protect that sacred site and do a good job of doing that. It's going to be the Dome of the Faith, the landmark of choice for Attack, Recon. Going to be getting those scholars out nicely. Now, something that the Delhi Sultanate used to do very often is just spam those scholars, and really was quite painful to deal with. And that could actually be helpful in the feudal age if he's going to stay in the feudal age for a long time here, Recon. We'll have to see what he decides to do for both players. Kasva, we can see when he does start to transition onto stone. A bit too early, of course, to do that. Quite a few sheep coming in now, courtesy of the scout actually having a larger range of sight. So they actually have a bigger field of sight vision here, the scout for the Chinese, compared to the other civilizations. It's going to be the Barbican and the Sun, sending 2 villages to build that. And it's not something that Attack or Recon will spot anytime soon, I don't think. Let's just take a look where his scout is now. He won't indeed see that at all. But the new age now does begin for Recon as well, and he's going to get Sanctity to be able to get those... scholars out onto the map and get those sacred sites. Will take 3 minutes though for now. Piety will come in 6 seconds rather after that. Is researched, and well, pretty slow opening as you'd expect. I wonder what Recon's going to do in terms of production buildings. Just needs another 20 wood before he can afford his first production building. Needs to be careful here, Kasva, not to lose his scout. It's going to be a stable opening, as we kind of expect. Ghazi Raiders is the typical opening for the Delhi. And then maybe adding an archery range for archers, and double blacksmith could be an option. You can see the first scholar coming out, looking to just garrison inside that stable to be able to pump out those Ghazi Raiders as soon as possible. All the upgrades have been queued up for Recon, so that would be nice for his economy if he can make sure he continues to do that throughout the game. as he does progress through the ages, of course. He'll also queue up those castle age upgrades. The question is whether he'll get to that castle age in this matchup or not. Alright, well, a couple of Ghazi Raiders going to be making their way onto the field. Now, I hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel so far. Do feel free to give the like if you have been. It really helps the channel. But plenty of more content coming your way. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we're getting more content as well, especially when the DLC hits. With New Civilization, the Japanese have obviously been pretty much confirmed at this point. You just have to check out the Steam page and the screenshots and everything. And yeah, it's pretty much clear cut. At this point, it's going to be a barracks opening for Kasva, maybe to look into get some spearmen against those Ghazi Raiders that are on the field. But we should see a follow-up with archer range soon enough for rack attack. Recon, he's going to get a blacksmith first though and get those upgrades queued up. Let's just see what he goes for. Is he going to go for like the melee attack or melee defense? He's actually going to go for iron undermesh first. Probably a bit blind doing that because maybe he's just worried about Jugunu, but there's no obviously archer range there. It's going to be a double blacksmith to get those upgrades now, and stone. So yeah, Kasva looking to get that second town center with villagers now opting to go to stone. Going to be supervising with the Imperial official to get that stone quick time. And maybe work from there. Now the villager count looking pretty healthy for Kasva, 4 in the lead because of the Song Dynasty, of course. And this is where Recon needs to put some pressure on the map. He needs to get the sacred sites. You know, he's going to be fighting an uphill battle otherwise. Economy is behind. He needs to do some critical damage otherwise. Can we try and harass the villagers on gold? There are no villagers on gold. And the spearmen are there looking to get some good hits. Did get a good few hits on this Ghazi Raider. Unfortunately for Recon. And Kasva just scouting out to see if this sacred site is being capped or not. And it's not just yet anyway. He does spot the villagers on stone, but spearmen are on hand to defend. And there's not much that Recon can do there. Might look to just go home and heal up those units again. But we'll be getting that stone in no time. Needs 400 stone for that second town centre. Or is it 350 actually at the moment? Yeah, 350. Almost there. And now is that archery range. So you can see, like, you can kind of pretty much predict what the Delhi Sultanate are going to do. It's a bit of a handicap for the civilization, how, like, telegraphed their actions are. And just how linear the Civ seems to play at them these days. But it is what it is. It's just the nature of the civilization at the moment. And now the Delhi Sultanate are looking to get the sacred site back at home. Should be able to. He's got, obviously, quite a lot of military, 7 to 14 in favour of Recon. And so we'll be getting that first sacred site, looking to get the berries as well. I think an outpost here could be quite nice to protect both the sacred site and the berries, and a relic in fact. Okay, well, second town centre is going on the deer pack in the stealth forest as well for Kasva, which is quite a nice an option. Like, you want that fast food coming in. It would be doing quite well to push these deer packs into the town centre if we could. This guy, what's he doing? Hello? He's just chilling. I don't know if he's a bit bugged, but he's relaxing, isn't he? So is this guy. Maybe there's a bit of a cooldown. Yeah, there's a bit of a cooldown in terms of gold collection. But they do seem to now move on to do other things. Picking up gold from the lumber camp and the mining camp. There we are, depositing it in. Nice bit of gold income coming in for Kasva. Getting an outpost as well, which has really certainly had some more vision. Has the vision from the Barbican already. Got some vision here on the east side of the map. And has started to wall up quite nicely here, Kasva. If you can do that, keep the deer packs inside the walls ideally, and get hold of those. Slowly the game progresses, pretty quiet, but things will ramp up for sure. I'm sure. In this civilization mashup, it kind of goes from 0 to hero very quickly. 23 miniatures, you can see Recon's starting to build the numbers up. Now, I would like to see Recon actually garrison the scholars, because these guys aren't doing anything, right? So it could be at least increasing the research speed, but it is what it is. And this map is actually quite rough in terms of the Delhi Sultanate. You might think, oh, well, you've got Sacred Site quite close to you, but actually, like, especially against the Chinese, the Barbican in the middle's denied Sacred Site there and has walled up this one, so Delhi haven't really been able to leverage the kind of bonuses that they would love to do, like contest those Sacred Sites, right? You just can't do it. In any case, maybe his game plan is going to be to amass units and try and just punish the greed that is coming out for Kasva. Look at the long way around for the second town centre. It's a little bit awkward with that Barbican positioning to access that town centre. Oh, Ghazi Raiders, they actually go around and break through in the end before the walls could get fully up. And wait, I mean, kasva could just wall this up and create a bit of a playpen. Doing just that, actually. It's kind of funny. I was going to continue the chase, but the Ghazi Raid is going to try and escape, but he's not going to be able to. The Chinese villagers build pretty fast as well. Just 2 more tile segments there to get done. Hello? He's going the wrong way. There we are. And now he's created a bit of a playpen for himself. Just going to be herding the Ghazi Raiders elsewhere. Now this is actually kind of critical because these Ghazi Raiders, there's like 7 of them and they're kept completely idle. And kasva could just back off with the spearmen as much as he wants to. He's going to try and corner them, get some value. And now, I think Recon spots that he's trapped. Trying to desperately find a way out. Good idea to move. It's going to be the astronomical clock. Oh, no, Recon, don't fight that. There's no way you can fight that. There's going to be the castle age coming in for kasva with the astronomical clock tower. Going into stables. Probably going to be getting those lances out. Now, this is a critical part of the game. We said how this matchup can go from 0 to hero. And that is exactly what we're going to see, right? So when kasva ages up, Recon's going to take the initiative. Going to say, look, okay, you got castle age. Can't let you get the upgrades too quickly, or at least if you do, I need to do damage. And he's got units to do damage. He's got 50 units. It's quite a typical kind of phase of the game. Actually, this happens quite a lot in Age of Empires 4. We talked about it on the channel before. When you age up, that's usually when you're most vulnerable, because it signals to your opponent to attack, to do some pressure. But if you can survive that pressure and get the upgrades you need, you can do really well. Oh, you could maybe look to get some damage here, Recon. What are you doing? Maybe going for a bit more of a sneak attack. Oh, he doesn't see it, does he? That's actually kind of huge. I don't. Did he see it? I'm not so sure. I think if he did, he would have killed the villagers. So unfortunately, he's going to try and bail his Ghazi Raiders out there if he can. And he should be able to. He needs to keep riding away. Try and burn his way out of those palisade walls and the little playpen that's been created. We'll get a couple of hits though with the spearman. Does lose 1 Ghazi Raider. So good sniping off there by kasva. A good number of archers. A good number of military here for rack attack. For Recon is going to back off here, kasva. Can't really take that fight. But now that he's in the castle age, he's going to get castle age units. Now, whether he looks to go and get a monastery or not, I'm not so sure. He's got to be careful because, I mean, he sees how many units are here for Recon. And Recon might, I mean, he's just going to continue, right? Recon has got no signs of edging towards that castle age himself. He wants to be aggressive and finish this game off if he can. Now, the thing is that castle age and late game is not too terrible for Delhi. I have to say, by the way, because they have the elephant, which is very pop efficient. And obviously, they have to get there and get to the castle age, get keeps up to reboom, but it doesn't seem like Rack Attack or Recon is interested in that. I might as well just call him Rack Attack at this point. Jeez. It doesn't feel like he's interested in getting keeps and rebooming at all with the Delhi today. Going to go for a full feudal age aggression and take the outpost up. Going to snipe some of the villagers. But at this point, the issue is that the Chinese just have so many villagers that Recon have to do so much damage, and he just needs to do a lot of infrastructure damage as well. Like, he would have to do so much damage just to get the villager count low. A couple of lances going on the berry patch, that's actually huge. Pushing those villagers away. They don't garrison inside the outpost, interestingly enough. And it's understandable because the outpost would go down eventually. And the archers for Recon, he needs to focus on the spearmen. He's not. He is now. But a couple of lancers dishing out a lot of damage. 64 military to 12. I think Recon needs to gather forward. There's not all of his military here in total, and he needs to get them all together. Lancers, though, getting huge value here for kasva. They are so tanky. But, I mean, look at this. The archers are barely doing any damage. They are staying alive there because of the scholars. Horsemen are dying, though. That's a problem. Lancers are wrapping around in the reinforcements. A lot of the archers will go down. Not enough military here for Recon to push this back. Now, the thing is that just by sheer numbers, Recon is kind of winning the fights. Getting another moss to get more scholars. The lancers have all gone down. 47 military to 5. But the thing is for Recon, I don't know if this is sustainable. Like, he needs to make sure that he keeps unit numbers low for kasva. If he doesn't, the castle age units will start to overwhelm. Going to dive in on this lancer that remains. Takes the hit. Looking to heal up those weakened units, the horsemen in particular. And he's heading forward with the units again. Maybe look out to take out the Barbican and the Sun maybe with a ram, but that just buys kasva a lot of time if he does that. 52 military to 4. I think kasva is actually really struggling in terms of military production. Only 3 villages on food. He's really struggling for food. He's got the sacred side in the east somehow. It's broken through. A deer camp has been left untaken. Oh, he's run out of deer, right? He's got so many villages on wood. 35 villages on wood, but no one on food. kasva is really struggling. Maybe he can get siege. Like, he needs siege. He needs a nest of bees. Now, nest of bees will do pretty decent against the archers, but he's got to be wary of the horsemen. He's struggling so badly for food. He doesn't want that farming transition. There's the Barbican being torched down slowly by the horsemen. The Delhi might have to back off. I mean, he could potentially go for some rams here, Recon. Sacred Site in the east being decamped and villagers healing up. And this is huge, actually, to get this food economy back for Chinese. That is massive. Not to be underestimated. He's gone out on the west side for some deer. Wait, actually, it's a boar. Actually, that is actually huge. He's got the food coming in at nice times, nice speeds. Boar and deer. Exactly what he needs. Will he be able to keep the Barbican alive though? I'm not so sure. Doesn't really have the units he needs. 68 versus 7. And the archer's diving in that second task set. He spots it now, Recon. Could be the second focal point of attack. Oh my god, he's getting the boar here as well. Right underneath the Deddy. Now the Deddy can't take the boar. He's out on deer. Quite ballsy, 6 villagers. Would do well to get an outpost there if he could. The good thing for Recon is that he's got that central sacred site now. Going to be getting even more gold. Barbican and Sun will be taken down. But the Lancers... Oh no, this is bad for Recon. He needs to keep his army together. He's got villagers... He's got, archers rather, going to build the rams. I'm not sure that one will get built in the end. And he needs the horsemen here. The Ghazi Raiders desperately. The Barbican is on fire, so that'll take care of itself. But Lancers in good numbers. The Ghazi Raiders do head forward. Now the good thing about the Ghazi Raiders is that they are pretty adept at dealing with highly armored units, right? That's something that they're actually designed for. But yeah, they've got increased effectiveness against armored units, as you can see. So they'll do a decent trade-off against the Lancers, but still, they need to be careful. Here comes the first ram, and looking to be aggressive now. Kasva needs to build up those numbers very, very fast. Now, I would love to see the Delhi Sultanate just add in some spears, right? The trouble is he would need a barracks for the outgrade as well, and that would take time. Just going full Ghazi Raiders archers. Barbican and Sun has now been burnt to the ground. I'm surprised he's not going for the secondary TC. There's quite a few villages he could actually try and take out there. Actually, maybe with the astronomical clock tower. I don't like this TC focus, actually. I think he needs to go for this, because Kasva might queue up a nest of bees. And that could be what saves him, because there's a lot of infantry here. He's going to go for the town centre first in any case. Villagers are going to be sniped by the Ghazi Raiders. On the retreat, melee upgrade per attack is in play. Takes out the villagers, and then the town centre. But the Lancers are wrapping in. A lot of archers on the front line. The archers are not ideal for taking out the Lancers. Ghazi Raiders are now heading in as the meat shield. The town centre is on fire. I just wonder whether Kasva has enough here. 11 military versus 79. Looks like the Ghazi Raiders should be winning this fight, especially with the Scholars. I think the Scholars are MVP here. They're dishing out so much damage in terms of, well, to the fight anyway. They're creating so much potential by healing up. Quite a few villagers on gold. They need to back off for Kasva. 84 villagers to 57. Nice healthy economy though. Does lose a couple on the retreat. And the Rams need to focus on production. They need to do something. They're just walking around, riding around. Although this is going to be a nest of bees. And that could be problematic for the Delhi, because he's got a lot of Lancers now, Kasva. So really starting to build that number up. Struggling for gold though. He needs to find a gold vein. Now, he does have a gold here that he's going to focus on, which is really key. That's the key bit of gold that he needs. And if he can take out a stable, that would be absolutely huge. Does still have another 3 stables online if this one goes down. The archer's trying to take out as much of the Lancers as possible. The nest of bees is going to be popping out soon, I suspect. Ram could maybe focus on the other stables. Maybe the astronomical clock tower. I think this might be a bit of an oversight, actually, because this is something that could save Kasva in this fight. Gone down to 7 military, though. Kasva struggling to keep up the Lancer numbers. Struggling on the gold count. The trouble is that Kasva's not been able to produce from all 3 stables. Oh, there's a huge nest of bees shot there. Kasva needs to keep this alive if he can. He's healing it up. Another nest of bees shot gets off on the archers, but there's enough of those Scholars healing up. The villagers healing up, and the Ghazi Raiders, if those get taken down, there's no way to kill that nest of bees. Nest of bees getting so much value. The ram goes down to villagers. The villagers keep on repairing. There's still 3 Ghazi Raiders trying to take it down, but the Lancers are picking off the Ghazi Raiders as they pop out. Only 2 Lancers. Ghazi Raiders are going down. Nest of bees get a good hit on the archers once again, and it's all coming down to this nest of bees. It's getting so much value. He picks off a lot of the weak archers now. The healing ability not coming out enough. Not fast enough from the Scholars. The nest of bees focusing on the Scholars, but insufficient wood. He doesn't have enough wood to repair. At least not yet. He needs to repair drastically. He lost a lot of villagers though, I think, on the repairs. But Lancers are going to sweep up the rest of the archers. Nest of bees continue to fire off, and the nest of bees keep staying alive. That's going to be painful. But villager count has dropped down to 60 for Kasva. He's lost 48 villagers. 49, absolutely insane. He's going to keep he's going to lose the nest of bees. Okay, he lost it in the end, but he got so much value out of it. Holy smokes. Recon went from like 80 military to half that in the blink of an eye. He needs spearmen. And the Ghazi Raiders will be doing a job, but spearmen will be doing better. Now he does have to back off here, Recon. But what a crazy comeback from the nest of bees. Kind of unbelievable. Oh, we're going to lose some villagers here on the front there. Now, Recon does have a healthy villager count. And need at that. But he needs units. He's got a lot of the scholars, a lot of the archers. But the archers will not be dishing out as much damage as they need to against the lancers. These guys will tank a lot. He needs Ghazi Raiders. He needs spearmen. Come on, Recon, get the barracks. Where are they? Alright, well. Recon is in a good position here, but I think the concern for him is his armor composition isn't solid. He's got mostly scholars. I think he's got more scholars than he has the units of any other type. The Ghazi Raiders need to come up in numbers here for Recon. If he's got any chance of winning this game, he needs Ghazi Raiders and Spearmen. Gonna try and push off villagers off of stone. Maybe a keep could be coming out for kasva. Got 700 stone so far. Could do well to refresh that lumber camp. Holy moly. But plenty of villagers still on stone. Let's toggle over to the income per minute. We start farming transition coming out for the Delhi. And the constant trickle of units in the middle now. Okay, he's going to get a keep on the berries, and that'll be a nice source of food for him, and a very nice position to protect as well. I don't think Recon can... I mean, he could potentially deny this, actually. I'm not so sure, because there's nest of bees and there's lancers, right? That one nest of bees is just getting so much value. You know, even after killing 49 villagers here, Recon, you can't say that he's got a decisive lead in economy. He doesn't. Lancers dive in. Ghazi Raiders, if they get taken out, that's going to leave a lot of those archers exposed. A lot of lancers are going down, though. Here come the scholars to heal up, but the archers are losing health from that nest of bees. And what kasva's learned from the initial engagement, got villagers there to repair the nest of bees if he needs to. Takes out a lot of the archers. The keep will go up, and now Delhi, they have to back off. They have to come off the berries. He loses units on the retreat. 15 units here for kasva. Premium units, lancers. They are sniping out some of the scholar numbers. Looking huge. The keep gets one on the retreat as well. Snipes another scholar, yet another. Now rack attack. Recon is struggling. He has to head back home. Almost double the army, but he's got a complete counter unit here, kasva. He's got exactly what he needs. If he takes this fight and wins it, this could be the end of the game. And all of a sudden, Recon's forward position is under threat, and a lot of these archers, I mean, he just doesn't have enough. The lancers are so tanky. The upgrades are in for kasva. He's taking the fight, and if he wins the fight, it could be disastrous. He's on food once again, and has the nest of bees firing off. He's got it alive still. 2 nest of bees as well. Absolute MVP unit in this matchup so far. The lancers are going to dive in, take out the scholars, and look at that. Villagers on the gold, very exposed. He doesn't necessarily have the number of lancers that he would want, but he continues to produce. Villagers on berries have to back off, and now Recon's economy going to be looking very, very poor, struggling. 68 villagers rather to 74. The military numbers still in favor for Recon, but it just doesn't have the right kind of units. Nest of bees are protected by the lancers. Archer numbers are starting to build up again for Recon, but villagers coming forward to try and snipe out the nest of bees. Oh, that's such a waste though. He's not going to get them all down. I think he might get one nest of bees, potentially nest of bees still get the attack off on the archers. A lot of critical HP has been lost. He keeps the 2 nest of bees alive. More villagers being trickled in by Recon. He's trying to get those nest of bees off. He doesn't have any springholes, of course, in the feudal age, and he is struggling so hard. The nest of bees still gets another shot off on the archers. It's just archers on scholars, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Recon taps out a huge comeback for kasva, the nest of bees, the absolute MVP unit. Holy moly. Hope you guys enjoyed the castle game. I certainly did. Take care, and see you next time.